Assalamualaikum, and a very good day I wish to all of you. Welcome to our forum for this week, and we are thankful for you all to come. As we know, nowadays, the pandemic COVID-19 is a current big issue that enables you to think about the topics that we have highlighted. We are trying to solve the issues together by sharing beneficial and interesting idea and thought that will be delivered by our guest today. This morning, we would like to highlight a topic that is quite interesting to be discussed, which is effects of pandemic. Is it good or bad? I'm sure that every one of us has our own opinion, thoughts on this topic. Before we proceed to our forum, I would like to introduce our panelists who are here with me today. Panel 1 is Nur Hasliza binti Abdul Khalid. Panel 2 is Nur Syabani binti Sabaruddin. Panel 3 is Nur Syafiqah binti Sarawi, and Panel 4 Nurul Fatihah binti Ahmad Humaizi. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome to the panels to share their ideas. So I would like to proceed to panel 1. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Moderator. This pandemic caused shutdown of education and this creating the largest impact on students, mostly of the students around the world. When discussing the positive effect of pandemic, one thing that's come into mind is integration of technology into education system. Education and technology always come together, but with this pandemic, it's to new level. Although this can be seen as first transition, but at the time, only foreseeable solution. However, integration of technology into education does not mean that it will improve interaction between teacher and student. It will deliver material better and student will receive it and fully understand. New technology provide more possibility for student and teacher, but only when it used correct. That's all. I will pass to our moderator. Thank you.
So thank you, Dr. Asliza, from your explanation. So now let's move to Madam Syabani. So Madam Syabani, what is your opinion?
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. So based on the topic, I can direct state the pandemic is giving back effect toward education, and I not agree in this online learning. The sudden shift to online learning due to pandemic, which is without any planning, especially in our country, can lead to a lot of negative effects. Today, I'm going to share a few of it, such as it can lead to passive learning and risk of lagging behind academically by students. That is point where we get from a view of student. However, as we won't believe that there are also bad effects that had been facing by our teaching staff, such as unprepared teacher for online education and the changing format of student requirement. I totally not agree with this online learning during this pandemic. I'm passing back our discussion to Ms. Moderator.
Thank you, Madam Syabani. So Syafiqah, as a student, what can you say about this topic? Is it good or bad for you?
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. As for me, I'm disagree with Madam Syabani, but I agree with Dr. Hasliza's opinion for our topic today. In my point of view, the benefit that I can see from students are they're able to learn faster during online. They can learn it at their own space, rereading or skipping through the subject as they can choose. There is also evidence that learning online can be more effective in a number of ways. Research suggests that online learning increase retention of information and it also takes less time. On average, students retain more on material when learning online compared to in the classroom setting. Thank you. Passing back to Ms. Moderator.
Thank you, Syafiqah, for your opinion. Next, what about you, Fatihah, as a student?
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. Sorry, Shafiqah, I can't agree with your opinion. For me, I can see a lot of disadvantage of online learning. One of it is lack of interaction you will get with classmate and instructor. For example, in the class, students have changed to speaking in class presentation and discuss and give their own opinion clearly. The second disadvantage is missing out non-verbal communication. As we know, non-verbal communication is very important than verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is also known as body language with people to, among other things, gestures people make while speaking, eye contact, and the way they stand. That's all for me.
Next, let us hear some suggestion. So, all panelists, is there anything that any one of you wanted to add?
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. I have a few things to support my opinion really. Online learning is another option for students to improve their knowledge. In addition, it provides a platform to self-assess interaction learning. The learning process will be more interesting than learning in the classroom. What caught my attention the most was the student forum page. I believe that this is one of the effective way of learning, but yes, there will be pros and cons. It depends on the student to decide. Thank you.
So, panel 3, would you like to say anything about this topic?
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. For my conclusion, there was other benefit we can get, such as parents become more engaged with their children, education, and had a better understanding of their learning levels. That's all my point of view today. Thank you.
So, what about you, panel 2? Would you like to say anything too?
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. I would like to add a last point of view on why I am 100% saying that pandemic are giving bad effect to our education. The point is sluggish issue of student and the exaggerating socioeconomic difference. Why I'm saying to this is because not all of our Malaysian students are capable to have our own laptop or even smartphone for them to access the online learning that been occurred due to pandemic effect toward education. Since as we all know that since pandemic, all education are based on online learning. That's from for me. Thank you.
And last opinion, Fatehah, do you agree with Madam Shabani?
I am totally agree with Shabani. Most negative influence from pandemic received these countries and students were poverty is a major issue. It is incredible that is one place pandemic pushed technology usage into the next level, whereas in other of absent of such as technology put to pause the whole education system. Lastly, in order to success at online learning, you have to have some specific skill. You have to be self-motivated, responsible for your own learning, and have a good time management skill. If you don't have those skills, traditional class may be a better choice for you. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you for all panels to give their own opinion and knowledge for today. Let's give them a big round of applause for all panels for such an informative talk. Now it's time for the Q&A session. Does anyone have any question?
Yes. So the question is, how do we protect the mental health of student in a pandemic?
Thank you, Bani, for a good question. The COVID-19 pandemic has a major effect on our life. It is natural to feel stress, anxiety, grief, and worry during the COVID-19. Here are some strategies that can be used during these challenging times to protect students' mental health. First, take care of your physical health. Second, ask for professional help if you like it. 3, take a break from social media. 4, find new ways to connect with friends. That's all.
Thank you, Thank you, Fatiha, for such a good answer. So, does anyone also have some question for you to ask?
I would like to ask Dr. Hasliza, how will the school follow up with the student who cannot attend the class? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Almost all online class require students to respond and communicate with their teacher. And here are some strategies how to follow up with students who cannot attend class during online. Okay, first, class recording can be passed to the absent student. Second is schedule one time. Third is connect with students via email and messaging them. And lastly, communicate with students and parents about their problem. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hasliza. So, I think finally we have come to the end of our forum, where we have shared a lot of knowledge which we don't even know our thought before. Well, from what all of our panel shared just now, there are good and also bad effects of COVID-19 pandemics on education. So it is everyone's right to choose on how to deal with it. That's all for today. I will end our forum discussion with thanks to all of the panelists and audience. And thank you and Assalamualaikum.